March 2024 meeting of the City of Scranton Zoning Hearing Board will now come to order. Will the secretary please take roll?
Chairman Walsh,
Here.
Board Member McDermott,
Here.
Board Member DeAntona,
Here.
Board Member Morris,
Here.
and Board Member Gattens.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. In accordance with the Pennsylvania State Sunshine Law, this board shall render its decision on each case either at the end of each hearing or within 45 days of the hearing. If you are to give testimony in a case, please come to the podium, raise your right hand, and wait to be sworn in. After being sworn in, state your name and address and proceed with your testimony. Also, anyone giving testimony who does not become a party to the case may obtain a written decision from the zoning office. I also have two announcements of law. If you are granted a variance or a special exception, you must wait 30 days from the date of our decision to obtain necessary permits to start work. However, you may obtain a permit sooner by signing a waiver that any work done during that 30-day period is at your own risk. A favorable decision by this board shall expire 12 months from the date of said authorization in accordance with the section 111I of the zoning ordinance. If you fail to obtain the necessary permits or do not comply with any or all conditions of said authorization, you must seek an extension. Is there any remarks from the board?
Yes, Chairman Walsh, I have a couple. Looking at these applications tonight, when they're being returned by the individuals, the applicants, they're not filled out all the way. They're not even completely filled out or near completely filled out. Each application that's up before us tonight has no listing of the neighbors that are affected by your application. They need to be filled out. Because at that point there, that neighbor, whether it's next to you or across the street, anything, has no idea this hearing's taking place. And that's why it's on there. So I'm looking at every single case. They're not listed. It's your responsibility as applicants to fill these out. So at this point here, I really don't think we should be voting on these cases tonight. Unless these neighbors are notified and notified correctly, it's going to come back and haunt us.
Do you, when they turn these applications in, are you sending letters to the neighbors, or you're just going by what's submitted?
I send letters to the neighbors and I advertise on the newspaper.
So even if they don't list it, you're sending them to the neighbors?
Yeah, I send it to the immediate neighbors in the area, sometimes a little bit on the far end, on the short end, but I don't send it by certified though, because, I mean,
So-
certified is $8 and something.
Abraham, they got, all these people got letters then, even though
Yeah.
you don't have the addresses on these?
Yeah, because I just go on Near Maps. I use our satellite software. I look at the address and I just grab the
Okay.
address from near around them.
All right, as long as they got them. I mean, I don't want to see a case come before us where they weren't notified.
Yeah,
So I will, Sheriff. I appreciate that. Thank you.
no problem.
I gave Abraham a couple addresses of cases that came before us that for some reason, if the applicant was turned down, they're proceeding with their project. And I don't know who that falls under, if it falls under license inspection that's supposed to follow up on these. But I did supply him with a couple names and addresses. And I don't know where it's fallen through the cracks and why it's being allowed that they continue with that or go against what this board has submitted. If we set hours of closure at 10 p.m., they're staying open to 2 a.m. Or they're going beyond warehousing and doing commercial sales out of a warehouse. So, Abraham, I don't know if you could forward that, who it has to go to or who handles that.
Let me just comment on that. That would be an enforcement issue,
Right.
which is handled by the law department here.
Okay.
But Abraham would have to report any violation to the law department so that they can then go forward with it.
Good. Very good. Thank you. That's it.
Anyone else? Abraham, could you attest in the verifications of the postings?
That is correct.
Could we call the first case, please?
First on the agenda today, we have Manju Singh for 801 Pittston Avenue. It's a gas service station, and the justification is they would like to add an addition for a new bathroom and cooler with freezer.
All right, anyone here for Mr. Singh? Okay, this has been continued a couple of times, I believe.
Till the end?
We'll put
okay.
it at the end, and if there's nobody here, then we're going to dismiss the case
Okay.
completely.
You want to call the second case?
Second on the agenda today is Eulalia Acosta and Renee Hidalgo for 1423 Euclid Avenue for a storage or temporary proper use personnel.
Anyone here for Tavares Eula Acosta? We'll do the same thing, we'll call it at the end.
We'll go to the third case.
Third on the agenda, Jose Angel Diaz Gavanales seeks special exception to recognized property also as a commercial at 1607 Washburn Street.
Somebody here for that case? I'm here against it. You're here against it. Is there anyone else here?
That's what I was going to say, but I think we have the wrong address on that location. It definitely, it was even on the wrong side of the street, I believe.
That's what they put as the property location on the application.
Yeah, it's definitely the wrong address.
Okay.
We're going to bring that, we'll put that to the end. We'll go to case number 4.
Case number 4, Maria Sumba seeks variance to have a small restaurant business in a currently vacant building, 1107 Jackson Street.
Come on up over here.
Could you raise your right hand, please? Am I going to swear?
Pull the mic down.
This is
It's up to you. I don't care.
this is my mother. I'm just gonna translate.
You got a mic? You have to talk into the mic. There you go.
So this is my mother. I'm gonna translate for her. Do I raise my right hand or my mother?
Both of you, please.
Okay. Las dos vamos a hacer nuestra mano.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
Maria Sumba, and it's 1105, 1107 Jackson Street. Her. That's my mother, Maria's. My name is Georgina Lemma. It's Giorgena.
Okay, you could tell us about what you're looking to do?
So we're looking to do a restaurant at this place. It's just a small restaurant. We were thinking to either do like a barbecue restaurant or a restaurant that was like an ethnic restaurant, like an Ecuadorian restaurant.
Do you have any parking there? Is there a parking lot?
No, that's the only thing that's not there.
Where are your customers going to park?
Está preguntando dónde van a parquear los. Well, there's a lot of it's a public place. There's like parking in the front.
Yeah, you can't use the street. You have to have off-street parking for your business.
What was that?
You need off-street parking, like a parking lot for your business. What was in that building before, do you know?
We think there was a salon on the left side, 1105. There was like this chair of a salon, but then the other side was empty.
Okay. No.
Pero es que otros lados también. Bueno.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but there's a new one coming in. The others are grandfathered in, you know? I said if the business is already there, it's grandfathered in, but a new business is going to require the parking. How do we give them a variance? They're not parking, though. We can't tell them to park on the street, and that's what we're going to do. So,
How many units are in that building now besides the restaurant you want to do? How many apartments are in there?
It's one in the second floor.
One on the second floor.
yeah. It's right on the corner, the fire hydrant right there.
Right. Is there anyone here to give testimony on this case? Well, what kind of hours are you looking to have there for this restaurant?
¿Qué horarios dice? ¿Qué horarios piensan tener? ¿Por qué horas necesita específicas?
Excuse me. Up here. He's going to be sworn in as well, if he's going to offer testimony through you,
Oh, okay, thank you.
so.
Necesitas entrar y alzar tu mano.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
Dile, do I say it?
Yeah,
Sure.
You can say his name.
1105, 1107 Jackson Street.
And what's his first name?
Luis, last name Lemma.
Your buddy.
Name? Luis.
What was the hours you were looking for?
Horario, perdón. 6 hasta qué hora? 6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. How many employees there?
¿Cuánto empleados? Pongamos como... No tendría sentido 3, papi. 3. It's just a small restaurant.
How many?
3.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to speak for myself. You don't have the parking there. You don't have the parking. You have a business there, and you don't have parking for your employees, and you have a tenant upstairs. I mean, we can't allow you to use the street. We can't give you a variance to have your customers or your employees park on the street. I mean, you're tying up the street parking for the neighbors there. And again, I'm speaking for myself. I hate to turn a small business trying to start up in the city down, but we have to go by what I have to vote on what the rules are. Again, I'm not speaking for the other 4 members, just myself.
Approximately how large is the restaurant? How many square feet? Do you have any idea?
¿Cuántos square feet tiene? El primer piso, ¿cuántos square feet?
You know, how long, how wide?
It should be in the plans.
You can come up and be sworn, yes.
You raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Name and address, please.
Shawn Walsh, 215 South Decker Court, Scranton, PA. Yes. SCAN, The restaurant is situated, as we know, on Jackson Street. It used to be Russinello's Barber Shop. It's approximately 14 feet by 40 feet long. So the tenant upstairs, do you have a tenant upstairs, Georgina? Mm-hmm. Is there someone up there? Yeah. So how about the house 3 houses up? You own that house, don't you?
Yeah.
So they do own a house across the street. So you have 1116, 1118 Jackson, which is across the street. 2 doors up, they have a big, huge driveway where their employees would be able to park. It's a family business. They own a property 3 doors up. They do. They own. What's the address there?
Oh, it's It's 1124.
1124 Jackson. They do own that property as well. I'm the contractor, I was the contractor on that house. I'm also the contractor on this restaurant here as well.
But, Mr. Bain, we can't have them park in that driveway. Like, we can't tell them to go park in that driveway. Because,
Their family, they'll walk down the street. I mean, what we would ask for, Mr. Gattens, all due respect, is a zero variance in the parking, due to the fact that it is zoned for exactly that. You have a restaurant that's right next door, and you have Liberty Lunch, which now is a phone store. Around the corner, you have, Black Lion Tattoo Parlor. Across the street, you have Carmelo's, you have,
but, Mr. Bain, I'm liberal with this stuff.
100%.
But what's right is right. I mean, most of them business are grandfathered in as well. I mean, they were business before. Has this building been condemned?
No.
It's not condemned, the restaurant part or the downstairs part of it?
What in essence they're asking for is a change of use, from a barber shop to a small restaurant. And I understand there's no parking, but it's tight quarters there regardless. And they do own a property right up the street, and it is a family business. Their employees will be family employees. So, I mean, you're walking 3 doors down to your restaurant. And I think, what's the occupancy law? We have a permit in with the city. We already have a permit in. We already have the plan set in with license and inspection. And Abraham said that, through Mr. King, that we need to go to zoning for the change of use. So we did that. I think the occupancy load is only 12, like for the restaurant. So it's not like this big, Taco Bell coming there. It's a little, it's just little Spanish, burritos and, whatever they got coming.
And
Yeah.
what's the hours of business again?
Hours?
6 a.m. to 8 p.m.
6 a.m. till 6 a.m.? I'm having a hard time hearing her.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m. I don't know what you eat in the morning. I guess it's a little breakfast burrito. Breakfast burritos, right?
Street. All right.
Different days
That's-
have different hours, I think, right? Do we specify that later?
You're 7 days a week. You're not 7 days a week. You have days off.
So, Dan, how many spots would they be required for this?
Under this new ordinance, it's 1 per 50 square feet SFGFA. Any idea, guys? SFGFA.
Square footage, something, GA.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out what this ordinance says. It's on page 120. Oh, it is, here it is. It says it's square feet of gross floor area.
Don't worry about the parking. I told you that. The parking was going to be an issue.
14 by 40 is
560.
560.
So that you'd be requiring 10 parking spots.
That's right.
Your own parking lot on the side of the house. You need like Villa Maria. I don't even know if Villa Maria has 10 parking spots on the side of their restaurant. And they probably hold there 250 people they could hold in there. We're asking to hold 12. I think the occupancy load is 12 on the paper.
Does the square footage need a variance too? Is there a minimum on the square footage of the restaurant or no?
No. It could be as small as it wants to be for a restaurant. Shawn, did you say it was at the corner of Jackson and what?
Jackson and Main Avenue?
Jackson and Main, okay.
Jackson and Main, yeah. It's actually the split between North and South Main Avenue. Jackson to the right is north, Jackson to the left is south. 100, 100.
How many days a week were they going to be open there? I'm sorry.
They were just talking about that right now. They would conform to whatever you guys suggested. If in fact these were agreeable to it, they would do, you know, they're looking to get 7 days a week. They just said they would change from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. to possibly, you know, 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. So whatever, you know, obviously we're at the mercy of you guys, and whatever you guys would be okay with, they would, you know, they would be okay with it as well. And another thing, just to add, like right there in that corner, Mr. Argenta has taken numerous amounts of pictures of trash that was piled on the side of that building. Since they took over ownership over there, that's not happened. So they're good neighbors, and if you ever see the inside of that apartment they did upstairs, it's impeccable. So they're taking a vacant building and they are putting it back on, you know, the tax rolls, and they're bringing something back. They bought a house up the street, so they are investing in the neighborhood as well. I mean, that's something to add.
Yeah, let's... I want to put a contingency on this, Dan, of hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And...
You hear that?
You have a concern? We're fine with the business in that location 7 days a week if they want to operate 7 days a week. I'll make a motion with the contingencies on.
Okay, I don't know whether you've heard from the public yet or not.
Yeah, I asked if is there anyone here to give testimony on this case? There's not.
So we have a motion with the contingency of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
In 7 days, we're okay with 7 days.
Good for 7 days. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, take a vote.
All right, Chairman Walsh.
No,
Yeah.
He goes
Yeah, you-
last. You go last.
Board Member McDermott,
Yes.
Board Member DeAntona,
Yes.
Board Member Morris,
Yes.
Board Member Gattens,
Yes.
Chairman Walsh.
Yes, 5-0, you've been approved. Good luck.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We call the next case, please.
Next on our agenda is Robert Eli seeks special exception to have a miscellaneous auto repair / salvage yard / used car dealership at 430 North 9th Avenue. Please come up.
You raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Name and address, please.
Rob Ely, 1163 Miller Road, Lake Ariel, PA, 18436.
You may proceed.
Oh, I'm just looking for a variance to be able to operate a small business. I've been
Well,
there for...
explain it to us what you're trying to do.
I've been there for 5 years. I bought McCarthy Taxi out. I was a small cab company at the airport. I'm basically semi-retired. I run the small business. I own the property, and I filed for a certificate of occupancy to be able to buy and fix antique cars, and I was told that I have to do certain things. Once I filed for the certificate of occupancy, they said that you have to do these things and put different exit signs and stuff. I'm not going to be retail. I just want to buy and fix antique and restore antique old cars.
Are you going to store, you have a storage area outside the building?
Yes, I have a parking for about 16 cars.
Is it fenced in?
Yes, I fenced it
It's
in.
locked up at night?
Yes, it is.
Is there lighting on the building?
I could put that in. There was, there's one light, but I can expand that.
And it doesn't shine across the street on the neighbors or anything?
No, there's a telephone pole that has a light that shines through the front of my
So
property.
you have nothing on your building that you light up yourself?
Right.
Okay. And what kind of hours will you be working in there?
I'm a snowbird, so it'd be 5, 6 months out of the year. I would not work after 7 or 8 o'clock at night in the summertime.
So you said you're not doing any kind of retail or anything like that, so there's no
I don't
customers?
plan on it. If I fix one car a month in the summer, that's 6 cars, but legally you need to have a dealer's license to sell more than 5 cars.
Right. So, but you didn't answer my question.
Oh,
Are you going to have retail sales?
no.
So what do you need the dealer's license for, then?
Well, I'd like to have it, so if I end up selling 6 cars in the course of a year, I don't know how many I can restore. Usually they take about 1 a month.
You just said you weren't selling them, you said. I'm over here, sir.
No, I would like to do that. I don't have to sell them at that location. I have 5 acres at my house, I can sell them, you know. But I'd like to be licensed to be able to do these things, because I bought the property 7 years ago, and I went to zoning and spoke with a man named Jack, and he gave me a piece of paper saying I could use the property for these purposes. And then COVID came, and I went to file for the certificate of occupancy and stuff like that, and everything was basically shut down. And, you know, my life changed in the last 6 years. I had a quad bypass, so I'm not really looking to work too hard. But I'd like to have a certificate of occupancy for this place to be able to, you know, make a little money and put it to best use. I fixed the cabs there now, but I stopped because when I filed for the CO, they said you can't work there anymore. So I mean, I have 4 taxi cabs that I keep on the road and 2 vans.
Just a comment, he's in a highway commercial zone, so all of the uses he's asked for are listed under special exception, allowed by special exception. The only one that's not listed is the salvage yard part of the application. That's not permitted in a highway commercial zone. And also his application does say that he would buy and sell rebuilt and rebuildable vehicles at a small scale, which I think is what he was saying.
See if anybody else is here. No salvage. So you're not doing any kind of salvage there, right?
No, but they told me that if I didn't have plates on the cars, I'd have to have a salvage license, so that's why I asked for that too.
Now, my concern is that I don't want it to become a scrapyard.
No, I'm not.
You know, we have
That's
old
not-
cars sitting out there, and how many cars do you have waiting at a time to be repaired? So if you're doing this and you're repairing taxi cabs, did you say? Did I hear?
My own taxi cabs, the company I
Okay.
have,
So how many cars would, say, be in that yard?
6 to 10
Okay.
at any time.
So Dan, did you say the only special exception he needed was for the salvage yard?
No,
Okay.
the rest of it is all special exception. The salvage yard would be technically a variance, which is a little steeper
Yeah.
item to get. Mr. Eli, out of the 6 to 10 cars in the yard, how many of them don't have any registration?
Right now? I have 4 with registered in my name, 2 that are going to be put on as taxi cabs, 2 jet skis I will repair as soon as I'm allowed to do work there again. And that's it. I have a 66 Dodge Dart I'm going to be bringing down there as soon as I'm licensed to be able to rebuild that.
So the vehicles that are in the yard have
Some of them are.
plates, have license plates on them? They're current?
Yeah, half of them do right now. Half of them do right now, but I own all of them in my personal name.
Okay. See if anybody else is here.
They all can be driven, too. They're not broken.
Is there anyone here to give testimony on the case? You come on up.
That's all right. Sure.
Could you guys raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, we do.
Name and address for the 2 of you, please.
John Monahan, 435 North 9th Avenue.
And Mary Jo Monahan, 435 North 9th Avenue. 2 words, Mary and Joe. J-O. J-O.
You may proceed.
Well, our concerns are just we're not opposed to the business, but our concerns are for noise levels, sanitary conditions, hours of operation, and maybe tying traffic up on the street because it's a one-way street. Those are our concerns.
As far as the sanitary conditions, he had like a job Johnny out there for the longest time, and I don't think that's very sanitary. I mean, if he's not going to operate a business, I think he has to have facilities for that business. And also the noise. They have been there 11:30 at night, operating out of the garage.
So if we restrict the hours, I'm sorry, if we restrict the hours to a certain closing time.
Yes. And he does, the whole street is blocked up with his cabs and his cars. There's no parking for anybody else on the opposite side of the street. I mean, on his side of the street where his fence is.
So the cars aren't kept behind the fence, they're kept on the road?
Some of them are on the road. Most of them, I would say, are behind the fence. But he had a cab company there for a long time, and his cabs were all parked there. I don't know if he still has that or not.
He said he did.
I moved the office to my home, and I just used that as a...
You have to come up to the microphone.
Yeah, let them
Let
finish.
them finish. Anything else?
No, those are just our concerns.
Our concerns about it,
So if we can address those concerns, like
That's all.
with hours.
especially the noise and the,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
okay?
That'd be good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This-
Is there a bathroom inside the place?
No. When I bought McCarthy's cabs, for about 4 months, I put a porta potty outside, and I had an office trailer there, and I got rid of the office trailer and got rid of the porta potty because I don't operate out of that building as a business anymore. But I had to do something to transition from 1932 Cedar Avenue to, take over the business. They were there for 30 years, and they had 26 cars, and it was a nightmare to take over that company.
I don't see, I mean, just as a dealer, you're never going to get a dealer's license without a bathroom in that place. Just so
Okay.
you know, never
No,
going to.
well, the problem I had was the water company said I needed a CO, and the city said I can get the water without the CO, but the water company, I applied for the water 2 years ago, and they said without a CO, they're not going to give me water. So if I get a variance and exception, then I will go back to the water company and have a plumber come in and put the water in. Now, I'm not opposed to spending money. I spent money already fixing the building.
We can put that as a condition.
All right, so I'm going to add some contingencies to this, the request. One is the hours of operation be shut down by no later than 8 p.m. at night
That's fine.
and no earlier than 8 a.m. in the morning. So we're going to look at 8 to 8. No vehicles are to be stored on the street at all. They're in your lot, stored on your property.
Okay, what about, like, I use that place to, the drivers switched out their cars for the cabs.
Yeah, that's different, but once they're switched out, they have to come off the street. You can't tie up the street where you're parking. You have a property, store them on your property. And, one second.
No.
Okay. And that only 5 vehicles are to be stored there at any time, any given time, on the outside of the building
For sale.
for sale.
In the fenced-in area?
In the fenced-in area. Yeah, everything's be inside that fenced-in area. Nothing's to spill over onto the street.
Okay. What about registered vehicles that are license plated and they're driven every day?
But are they with your business?
What's that?
Are they part of your business?
Well, not of the business that's applying here. I still use the parking area as a staging area. They switch once a day, sometimes once a week. The drivers pick the car up there instead of coming to Lake area.
We can't give you a variance or a special exception pertaining to a city street. If you're a business, just like the case that came before us before, you're required to, have parking and everything. And you do have a lot, and I'm just
Okay.
feeling it this way. For me to vote on it, I want all the vehicles inside that lot, off the street. Because if you're tying up parking for the neighbors, and that's when the problems are going to start down the road, where they're going to get aggravated and everything, that your business is tying up the parking over there. So to go forward, we said 5 cars at any given time for sale. Any vehicles you're working on to be stored inside that fenced area along with your for sale cars. Hours operation from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No Sunday.
That's fine.
Monday. I'm just telling you what's going to go on this, Monday through Saturday. No Sunday work, anything at all in that property. Cover everything?
else you want to add? Anyone else here to give testimony in this case? No? Make a motion.
Before we vote, the vehicle sales, the repair garage, the recycling, those things are all special exceptions which we could vote on.
Yeah, I think we
The
want
salvage yard is something different.
But let's take the salvage yard off, please.
Okay,
I think
we're
that
going to
should
take the
definitely be
salvage
off.
yard
Yeah,
off.
he said,
I have a question, though. If I buy a vehicle at a salvage auction and I restore that car, would I need the license for that?
But no, that's.
I think we're looking more at that, we see different areas in the city where they take cars and just throw them, strip them, and
I
put
understand
them on
that.
their property. So that's what we're looking at as far as salvage like that. No, if you're buying salvage cars that you're repairing, everything, it's different. And one more thing.
Dan, you mentioned about a contingency about the water. Are we able to add that he has a
You can-
bathroom on
you-
the inside?
You can add that as a condition, yes.
Let's add a bathroom on the inside and no porta potties on the outside.
Oh, yeah, that's gone, but I'll need a CO to get the water company to give me the... Okay.
So Dan, when you get all done, can you read them back to us, please?
Sure. We have hours of operation from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. No vehicles parked on the street. They're all to be parked within the fenced area. 5 vehicle maximum at any one time for sale. No Sunday hours, no salvage yard, and to install a bathroom at the building.
Yes.
Second?
Board Member McDermott,
Yes.
Board Member DeAntona,
Yes.
Board Member Morris,
Yes.
Board Member Gattens,
Yes.
Chairman Walsh.
Yes. Vote of 5 to 0, you've been approved. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's call the next case, please.
Next on the agenda is Monique McDonald seeks variance to convert barber shop into tobacco store at 701 South Main Avenue.
Can we raise our right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Name and address, please.
Monique McDonald, 730 Landis Street.
Were you going to speak also, or?
I did prepare, oh, sorry, I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay. Attorney Elaine Giraldo.
Okay, I didn't know if you were an attorney. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Elaine Giraldo, G-E-R-O-U-L-O. Thank you.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Hi, good evening. My name is Monique McDonald McCray. I am the owner of Two Brothers Smoke Shop. I am here this evening in hopes of getting permission to change occupancy of the location at 701 South Main Avenue, which is currently a commercial space previously used as a barber shop. I would like to convert it into a smoke shop which would sell cigarettes and other tobacco products. I have obtained my tobacco products license as well as my sales tax license. My anticipation is that I will have foot traffic of 1 to 3 people at a time. There would only be 1 employee at any given time or before switching shifts. And my anticipation is that the foot traffic would be in and out. I am also requesting a parking permit waiver or no variance for parking. Thank you in advance.
Did you say you own that building? Is that what you?
No, I did not. I am renting from,
Good evening, everyone. I'm Elaine Giraldo. I am representing the the McRae's. However, I'm one of the owners of the building. We purchased it about 18 months ago, and as this woman just told you, there was a barber shop that was operating on the property. They were evicted. They were a nuisance. Anybody who's familiar with that area, you know, there was activity there all hours of the night. They were evicted approximately 9 months ago, so we're attempting to clean up that area of the neighborhood.
If I can speak to Ms. McDonald again, I have some questions.
Sure.
Ms. McDonald, what's your hours of operation going to be?
We're expecting to operate from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.,
How many days a week?
7 days a week.
What kind of lighting are you going to have on the outside of the building? Signs or anything like that?
That would probably be the anticipation. We would try and get signs, some type of attraction, so they know what is being, you know, advertised and sold there.
And the only parking there is on-street parking. Is there any parking behind that building? I know where the building is. I'm familiar.
There is, well, you guys have they have like a little bit of a garage right there. If somebody couldn't, there is enough room for one car maybe to pull up, but mainly off-street parking. And I'm assuming in the past, previously, Gattens was used.
Don't say that out loud.
I'm not worried about that. But, yeah.
She didn't say that.
Right,
didn't
and
hear that.
I'm banking on foot traffic as well, though, so.
Okay, the only thing I'm going to ask you is your employee, please don't park in front of a neighbor's house or anything
I
again, because that's the
understand.
quickest way to get enemies.
No, no.
Parking is
clearly
gold,
understood.
especially on that street right there.
They're in a neighborhood zone, Zone 11, which personal service establishment and retail establishments are both permitted uses, so we're really only talking parking that she needs a variance for. Oh, she needs a variance for the parking.
The store itself is allowed, she just doesn't have the
Everything
parking.
else is allowed, yeah.
Let me just question this, especially with this new ordinance. If there was a business in there before, and it was within 18 months, or within 9 months, I'm sorry, and that was, I mean, I don't know if that came before us ever or anything like that, but every time a business goes in there, they're going to have to request a variance for parking?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, are they grandfathered in for the parking? Because the use is already permitted.
Because, I mean, in
So,
all honesty,
it's
this
certainly
board...
an argument that they're grandfathered in for the parking.
Yeah, because this board could shut
But I think
businesses-
what she wants to make sure that
Right.
she's able to open up.
Right, I think, and you and I spoke before this, so I'm going to touch on it right now. I think council's going to have to take a look at this ordinance. There's a lot of information that's missing out of this ordinance that we usually deal with. And hopefully, the powers that be get together sooner than later, because we're looking at cases here, especially with square footage for apartments, parking, stuff like that, that is going to have to be really addressed by council and do some amendments to this. Now, the only reason I ask that question is because if that's the case, depending on the mood of the board and how we're voting that night, we could shut businesses down. I mean, to me, this is
all the-
grandfathered in, you know?
All those properties along Main Avenue don't have parking, off-street parking.
Yeah.
So they've been there for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm good.
Is there anyone here to give testimony on this case? There is not.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Board Member McDermott?
Yes.
Board Member DeAntona?
Yes.
Board Member Morris?
Yes.
Board Member Gattens?
Yes.
And Chairman Walsh?
Yes, vote of 5-0, you've been approved. Good luck.
Good luck with it.
Guess we'll circle back around to the first case.
Okay, we're going to go back to agenda number 1. Manju Singh for 801 Pittston Avenue. Can you please step up?
Anyone here for 801 Pittston Avenue?
Okay, this has been continued a number of times. We're just going to dismiss the case.
Okay.
But let's take a vote to dismiss the case.
I'll make a motion to dismiss the case for 801 Pittston Avenue.
Second?
Board Member McDermott?
Yes.
Board Member DeAntona?
Yes.
Board Member Morris?
Yes.
Board Member Gattens?
Yes.
Chairman Walsh?
Yes, case dismissed. Number 2. Sure, come on.
Thank you. No, that won't work. Thank you.
Gentlemen, number 2, Mr. Diaz, that's mine as well. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry. I think they just did. That one, then, go ahead.
Second on the agenda, if you could please come back to the stand, Eulalia Acosta and Renee Hidalgo for 1423 Euclid Avenue. To
Anybody here
recognize
for that?
property, I'm sorry. Seek special exception to put a mobile home in the front yard at 1423 Euclid Avenue.
Shawn, did you say you're here for that case?
No, not for that one. The next one, Washburn Street.
Dan, can we take their testimony, the ones that are against it on this? Open the case
There's
up.
enough people here, I think we should.
Yeah. Let's do that. Mr. Walsh, you okay with that?
Yeah, yeah. If somebody wants to give testimony about the case, come on up. You raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
Tom Schuster, and it's 19 Forest Glen Drive. SCHUSTER. So I'm just coming to generally state that I'm against this, against this. Is it a variance at this point in time? I grew up on 1439 Hawthorne Street. I'd say 3 doors down from this property. I don't think the current zoning ordinance covers this type of mobile home on the property. I would have liked to have heard a little bit more of the specifications of what was to be stored on the property, but we don't have it here. I did take a look. There were 2 separate code violations that were put into the city for the property. It appears that on the 21st of July, I don't know if a fence and a driveway was being put in and a stop work order was issued, and then maybe the city helped gain the permit, but a stop work issue was put on the 21st of July, and they also received the permit on the 21st of July. So I'm not sure how that happened, but I did take a look at the application. It seemed incomplete, and one thing I'd like to say is I don't think the neighbors that are in this area received those letters from the city, because I don't think they were aware of it. I think it was more on social media that the word got out to the neighbors. But so I would like to see if the city had issued letters and to what addresses those letters were issued to, because as I said, 1439 Hawthorne did not receive a letter, neither did 1438, and probably houses to the right and left. That's all.
If we do continue this to the next, are we going to put this on the next meeting, Dan?
We usually allow them one time that they don't show.
Could we make sure that the surrounding neighbors did get letters or resend letters to the neighbors, just in case?
Yeah, I could resend them again for sure. I don't know, would you guys want me to do certified? Because typically I don't send it certified because there's a difference, it's an $8 difference.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be certified.
Okay.
These would have been letters with a city stamp on it, right?
Yes.
It would have
Yep.
said City of Scranton, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I hope any of the other neighbors that come up verify whether they received that letter or not.
It's usually within, within 200 feet? is that?
200 feet, yeah.
200 feet?
Yeah. Thank you.
Anyone else? You raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Name and address, please.
Virgil Argenta, 719 North Main Avenue. VIRGIL ARGENTA.
I can stop right. Mr. Argento, did you own a property right there within?
I was born and raised in, I'm a few 4 blocks from it on North Main.
But I think you're beyond our scope for testimony. I think it's, Dan, 200 feet? I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but I mean,
Well, they automatically have standing in 200 feet. The board has the discretion to grant standing beyond that.
No problem, I'll step down.
no, hang on, hang on.
The application shouldn't even went this far because there is no 1432 Euclid Avenue. So that application should be null and void to begin with.
It's 1423.
There's no 1423. 1423 would be up in the development, and it ends at 1413 and picks up at 1501. That address is incorrect.
I'm not going to disagree with you because
Yeah, okay.
I had a hard
So
time finding
You shouldn't
it.
even be here tonight. That is incorrect. The zoning officer should have handled it right then and there. Wrong address, and we're having a meeting for something there's no address. End it, and let them refile all over again.
But-
Law's the law. It goes for all of us.
Anyway.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Name and address, please.
Michael Mancini, 805 Columbia in Scranton. Mancini. Gentlemen, I have 16 years of mortgage origination experience. That property with that single wide would become what's known as an exterior obsolescence. All right? Any property around that would have to be appraised. The appraiser has a discretion 80% of the time. They would add that to an appraisal, and that would actually bring down the value of the properties around it. What you're actually doing here is if you grant this variance to this property, you're actually opening up a can of worms for us to allow others to do that as well. I would imagine that the goal of the Planning Commission is to prevent blight and the best possible use for that property. In my opinion, it's not the best possible use. What you're doing is you're bringing down values of other properties, and you're going against your own mission and your own goals to better the community.
I'm going to interrupt you, Mike. Just stay there for a second. First of all, I have no idea if it's a mobile home or a storage shed. I mean, this is what we got. That's it. So we don't know if it's a storage shed they're looking to put up or a mobile home. I'm here, mobile home. I don't know. And we're not driving anything down because we haven't voted on it yet. Like, at least let us vote for it and then tell us we're driving down the property values. But we're not doing that.
Well, the assumption was that it was a mobile home, and
See, it's an assumption. I mean, I'm not, well, I can't say too much on that, but we have no measurements, no distance from property lines. We have nothing before
well, if
us.
you knew what the measurements were, you could pretty much be able to tell if it was a single wide.
But we don't have that. That's what I'm saying to you. We have an application. That's it.
So if it's inaccurate as far as the application, how could you draw a conclusion?
We
based
haven't
on
drawn one.
insufficient
We haven't drawn
evidence?
one. We would, when they came tonight to testify, we would have drove that out of them.
Okay.
Chances are they might have brought plans with them or anything like that.
Okay.
But I think you're getting ahead of us a little bit on an assumption that we're going to approve this or
Yeah,
anything.
we're not
No, I was
voting.
just saying, if you approve it, I'm just telling you what your
I get that.
options are here
Yeah.
with my experience.
Well, we're not even going to vote on it tonight. What we're doing is taking the testimony in case some of these people can't get back next time. This will come up again next month. And if they don't show up, we'll do what we did with that first case tonight. It's done.
And how about if their application's incomplete like it is now?
Well, then they're going to have a heck of a time in front of us that night.
All right, appreciate your time. Thank you,
Thanks.
gentlemen.
Thanks for coming.
Can we raise our right hands, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Name and address, please.
Ellen Cummings, 1506 Euclid Avenue, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
James Cummings, 1506 Euclid Avenue, Scranton.
Good evening, Attorney Penetar, Mr. Chairman, and members of the Zoning Board. My husband Jim and I are taxpayers and homeowners in the residential district for the application that you're considering tonight at 1422 Euclid Avenue for a special exception to put a mobile home on the corner lot of Euclid and Hawthorne Avenue. We believe that that application would actually violate many of the provisions of the zoning ordinance and the residential district that we live in. First of all, we believe it would alter the essential characteristics of the neighborhood, which is currently an old established area in West Scranton, as well as gateway to one of the newest developments in the city of Scranton, the village of Tripp Park. We also believe this application will impair the appropriate development of adjacent properties. It doesn't represent the minimum variance to afford relief, nor is it the least modification of the regulation in issue. The lot already does have a single-family home on there. Furthermore, we believe, as Mr. Mancini does, that allowing this application to proceed will set a dangerous precedent for many of the lots throughout the city that would like to add an additional dwelling, such as a tiny home, a mobile home, further eroding our tax base and the quality of life within our city. We ask that you reject this application for a special exception, and thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We're going to just continue this case then?
Yeah, I think we'll table the case for now. I wanted to make sure that your objections are on the record in case you can't make it back to the next meeting. I would still encourage you to come back to the next meeting to see what the property owner is planning to do, just like we're trying to figure out what they're planning to do. So it'll be rescheduled for the next.
I want to ask a question here, Dan.
Go ahead.
Where are we getting mobile home? Like, I believe me, this isn't one of the better cases. Okay. No, I'm just wondering, because I mean, the application, it does, that's why I said I'm not sure if they're looking for a storage, mobile home, or anything. We're blind on this. Be straightforward. We're as a board, we're blind on
The
this.
exact words on the application, present proposed use, storage or temporal proper use personnel.
So, like
And
I said,
now it's getting, I know even on the agenda, it's mobile home.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't know what this means.
It was also advertised in the newspaper.
Yeah, advertised with the agenda, mobile home.
I'm not saying-
I don't know how mobile home came from the application.
Yeah. We're not, like I said, I'm trying to get across to everyone so that no one thinks that we formed an opinion on this. Stop. Hang on, Mr. John. All right. So,
Yeah, so we won't take any more testimony. I think we get your guys' point, and we're totally understand. And if you can make it back next month, we recommend it, but if not, we heard your testimony. Do we have to vote on this, or are we just gonna?
we have to table.
We're just going to table it, as the applicant isn't here.
Right.
Do we have to vote on that table, Dan?
No, we've automatically done that in the
Okay,
past.
good enough.
So we'll call the next case, please.
Next on the agenda is Jose Angel Diaz Galvanez seeks special exception to recognize property, also as a commercial at 1607 Washburn. Please step up.
Shawn, you were sworn in the last time, correct?
I was sworn in, yeah. I'm re-sworn. I'm good.
No, you're still sworn.
Okay.
So Shawn, I think before you even start with this case, I think we have the wrong address. Whoever submitted this application, so we didn't look at the right property.
Right, so he's not here anyway, and it's shocking. He spent $12,000 on a set of plans for this building, which is shocking, and he also paid $400.
So I'm gonna interrupt you. I think we should table this as well, because
Yeah, because I'm going to call him,
we have no plans.
Yeah.
I looked at the wrong building.
and just to give you a little insight, you know where the Ville Marie is, right?
I know where it
So
is
it's an
now,
empty lot,
but,
and then there's that big yellow, and then
Yeah.
a little...
but I mean, we looked across the street at 16 or
When we
15.
were- Is this somebody's thing?
Yeah, it's his thing.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't know it was there. Anyway,
Hey, wait, Sean.
you're not Irish, are you? A little bit. Huh? Yeah.
And Shawn, if he spent all this money on plans, well, we don't have any plans.
No, he told me not to talk. I'm not, in high school, I got N's in school, needs improvement on listens attentively. It was terrible. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't good at all that. I never got S's. I always got N's or I's, you know what I mean? However, here's what it was. We again, Mr. Negron there, I approached him. It is a commercial building. However, when it laid vacant for as long as it did, it is now no longer commercial. We were just simply asking for, you know, the reinstatement of the commercial. They wouldn't accept any applications because it's a residential quote unquote, as far as they were concerned. So go to zoning, get it back to commercial, and then we would set the prints. However, if in fact he does come next week or next month, what I'll do is I'll bring a set of plans. The building is absolutely beautiful, what he's gonna do there. And that building, I know Mr. Myers there is, he lives across the street, and I just told him, I said, look, this guy's gonna do, that building's been vacant for probably as long as Tom's been there. And I live right down the street. When we were kids, it was a little corner store, Ann Margaret's Pegs or something, right? It was just a little, look at here. It's from here to about right here is how big that is. He just wants to do it for a deli, I guess. I don't know why he's putting the money in it, but.
So I'm going to ask you one question.
Shoot.
All right, and then we're going home.
All right.
Does he have parking there? Is that dirt lot next to that building his?
He knows the guy. The guy's from the Dominican Republic, and the guy won't sell it to Willem Rand. He won't sell it to this guy, but I think he's going to get a letter from that guy that he can use that for parking. Everybody else in the neighborhood uses it for parking, you know what I mean? But I know you can't do that, but if he has a letter.
All right.
Sean,
Yes, sir.
let's correct the record. What is the correct
Yeah,
address?
you put me on the spot, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm actually the one, I feel a little embarrassed because I'm actually the one who filled that out, and I thought it was the
figured
right
that
address. But you know what? The buildings are conjoined, right? The two of them buildings are together.
Yeah.
So if you went by, the only thing that separates them buildings is the white siding and the yellow siding.
But the address you gave us was across the street.
Yeah, no, well, an odd number.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm gonna have to look at my application. It might have been Abraham
1507 is
too.
what you get.
Abraham might have mixed this one up.
So listen,
Abraham, don't try it. Listen.
So,
We'll get it, I'll get it set.
so
I'll have it,
make a request that we table this.
I make a request to retable this, and then we'll hear it next month.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second?
Board Member McDermott?
Yes.
Board Member DeAntona?
Yes.
Board Member Morris?
Yes.
Board Member Gattens?
Yes.
Yes.
Chairman Walsh?
Yes. Table till next month.
Stay safe, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. That was the last case, right?
That was a
Meeting adjourned.